Welcome to 5D Channels and Chats with Rachel Chamness. As a shamanic channel and mentor, I'll be sharing wisdom and healing from higher dimensions through channeling beings of light. You will also hear liquid Reiki shamanic sound healing, channels between intuitives, and discussion on higher dimensional healing and channeling. You'll find links and more in the show notes, so be sure to check them. You can find me at soundwavesheal.com and my Facebook group, 5D Daily Spiritual Healers in Higher Dimensions. Pamela says, once you are tuned to Reiki, are you always using Reiki, or is it possible that you may also be using your own energy, which may leave you depleted? How do you know you're actually channeling Reiki or perhaps another modality that doesn't necessarily have a name? I just want to say real quick, as Rachel, every person is using their own modality. The main reason I believe to be attuned to Reiki is that once you are, then you can wield your own modality with Reiki so that you do not get depleted. So if you are getting depleted with Reiki, then you need to check in with your Reiki master. Of course, I'm your Reiki master, so I'll be happy to help you with this, Pamela, but it's usually to do with cord cutting or other problems that you may not be realizing. So what Usui says, once you are attuned to Reiki, you are channeling Reiki. If it has been many, many years since you have channeled Reiki, it is still there. However, it may be a smaller amount. And so if you can use Reiki every day for 21 days or 40 days, if you wish, you will increase that ray once again. This is not quite the question, but is one I'd like to talk about. So you can self-Reiki yourself for 21 days or 40 days if you wish, and that will bring that Reiki to full power. How do you know if you are using something else? If you are intending to use Reiki and you have been using it, and it's not been a latent Reiki attunement from many, many years ago, more than 10 years ago, then you are using Reiki. If you have another modality of your own or that you've been attuned to, it should be mixing with the Reiki and it should be combined to be sure you can make that intention that all modalities of the light are combined with your healing. However, that is a natural thing that happens once you begin to bring all of this through. If you're feeling tired, then it can be something else. It can be that you are depleted of your own body's necessities, such as you must have enough water to really bring through this power and it can deplete you. Perhaps you're not completely in a state to be giving a session. If you're feeling very tired, perhaps it is that you need a clearing. And so you may not be starting at the highest amount of being able to bring the light through. For when you are channeling Reiki, you must be a clear channel to bring it through. It does also heal you. So if you're feeling that you're tired before a Reiki session that you're giving someone else, then you should definitely give yourself Reiki for a few days and see if that improves it. And if it doesn't, then you should seek your Reiki master for answers. That's a very good point. I didn't think about that. So maybe you were thirsty or hungry is what he was showing me. He didn't go into all of it, but he was showing me like you could be thirsty, you could be hungry, you could be tired from other things, and then that just drained you. So sometimes if I'm tired, I do a lot of sessions on Thursdays and Fridays, but sometimes if I'm already tired, then I can feel a little tired at the end of the day, although it does come back because, you know, you're also receiving Reiki. But most of the time, I don't feel tired from the Reiki itself. I feel, you know, it sometimes even energizes me. It doesn't wear me out. But the water thing is a really important thing because as a channel, I have to drink a lot of water. In fact, they're really on me right now because I had a lot of coffee that I need to keep drinking water. This is a great question. So what do you do when the patient is resistant to the healing or neglecting the ultimate cause? This is a very good question, and you may see that you will feel frustrated and feel that your work is not doing what it should. However, it does. If you are working on someone who is resisting, cleaning up what the root cause is, you may still help them. Each time you work on them, you will remind them that they will receive faster healing if they remove the root cause, and that if they are receiving Western medical intervention, interventions for the problem that are not truly helping, then they can be reminded of this. However, the Reiki session itself is helping them to get there, to release the resistance, to release the blocks. And so when you work on someone like this who does return, although they may not listen to the advice, you continue to remove any blocks that could be in their way. How do you do this? Hopefully you know, but if not, I will tell you. It is always, of course, intention. You may intend to remove any blocks that is keeping them from accepting their role in their own healing. And remember, you may use the Reiki master teacher techniques of giving them a healing attunement, which is a deep healing attunement and can also make a difference. I do not recommend that you do this more than once, and know that it will have a lot of detox. However, if they are asking for something that is going to make a huge difference in one day, even though it may have taken them 20 years to get to this state, and one session, of course, will not erase 20 years of choices, then you may try this on them and continue to work on removing the blocks. And remember, it is very frustrating as a practitioner to give true advice from the heart and give your time and effort to help someone heal, and they do not listen to the advice presented. However, you must have compassion and grace in these situations, for you might find sometimes to advice given to you, and it is, of course, a state of humanity. Yep, I could say that. Ashley says, yes, a gentle tug of war with trust for me as well. And looking back, every tug was needed. Very nice. Okay, Nina says, I love Reiki. I got my second attunement, but after this, I don't like doing it anymore because the energy I send feels so strong that I don't feel comfortable with my powers. I would love to use it to help other people and build maybe some business around it, but I feel too insecure. Any advice to take the next step with my practice? I love Reiki. Thank you for your work and energy, Usui. That's nice. Okay, let's see what he has to say. You have been given a great gift of a very wide array of Reiki, and yet it makes you uncomfortable. And so we recommend that you work on yourself with that strong Reiki. Give yourself 21 days, maybe, or twice a week of full session, and keep a journal on what happens. For perhaps you just need to experience what it's like and how it can be life-changing so that you can feel more comfortable with what it does. Or perhaps you should find a friend who is willing to work with the strong Reiki of yours and document their changes so that you can see that it is a gift of source, not anything detrimental. For perhaps your gift is to help those who need a very strong healing and who are willing to receive this healing even though there might be some detox afterwards. And I would like to point out that if you have some blocks around anything, you may receive a healing from someone else to help you get past these blocks. I would recommend that too, that you just get a healing to get over the blocks, or you can do it yourself since you have such a strong Reiki. My Reiki, liquid Reiki shamanic healing is so strong. And so I just let my clients know that they need to drink a lot of water, take a salt bath, that they might be tired for the next few days, but I mean, it's worth it. Hey, I'm fine with being tired for the next 3 days if you give me a super strong Reiki healing, right? I mean, that's what I paid for, right? That's what I want. So I think that you just need to get used to the idea, work it on yourself. I like what he said. So Pamela says, I didn't feel depleted lately, but when I used to do massage years ago, sometimes I felt depleted and sometimes energized. That's why I asked. That's great. So you're not receiving any problems with being depleted from your question earlier, but it's just that you're asking about that. Okay, so before, when you were doing massage, you were probably using your own healing instead of Reiki. That could have been it, and that's what made you feel depleted, and maybe sometimes not. I don't know, but I'm glad to hear you're not feeling tired after giving Reiki. Thank you for listening today. Please follow this podcast, like, subscribe if you haven't already. We would love to have you in our Facebook group 5D Daily, and be sure to sign up for my free Channeling Spirit Guides program, which you can find under resources at soundwavesheal.com. I am Rachel Chamness, and it's my pleasure to help light workers expand their channeling to heal in higher dimensions.